Angels and Demons of the Shemhamphorush. I just found this crinkled up chart of mine while cleaning up, and I thought I'd just show you. See, there's verse 24. Excuse me, verse 20. Well, let's start at the beginning. There's Exodus chapter 14, verse 19, and it starts right there in that top row, and it goes like that. And then there's 72 letters in it. And then verse 20 starts right there, and it goes all the way over there like that, like that, like that, there, like till there. There's 72 more. And then verse 21 starts right there, and it goes all the way over there like that, and it does this thing over there like that, and it does that over there, and goes all the way to the end like that. And then they read it in 74 columns of 3, reading up and down. And the red bar is the English translation of the letters, and the blue bar is the phonetic pronunciation of the 72 angels of the Shemhamphorush. And they're all assigned to 5 degrees of the zodiac, which is the next little white line there. And those 5 degrees of the zodiac in groups of 2 are the decans of the zodiac and the small card tarot cards, and they also correspond to the 72 spirits of the Goetia, which are the black things, the black bar there, and they're broken up into day and night, day and night, day and night, day and night. It's as simple as that. Good morning, and welcome to the next installment of Ask Babylon. And today's letters concern sex magic and the OTO and marriage. So, happy Saturday, everybody. Sit back, relax, have another cup of coffee. Take your socks off, because your shoes are probably off already. Dear Babylon, I made plans a few days ago to visit blank lodge in blank city during my vacation there. This will be my first visit to an OTO lodge, and I'm very excited. I want to be completely honest, though, because there's one thing that troubles me. Is there somewhere, books, online, etc., that I can learn more about how the OTO feels about sex magic? I don't know anything about it, and I read statements by very unreliable sources, believe me, that sex magic sometimes plays a role in OTO membership. I'm simply not comfortable with the idea and would like to know more about the OTO stance before I choose to apply for membership. I'm terribly sorry if this sounds immature of me, but my discomfort really is the only thing that has ever kept me from applying. Well, that and the location. The nearest OTO lodge is still 4.5 hours away from where I currently am. If you can't answer any of these questions, I completely understand and won't be offended, but I figured I'd give it a shot anyway. I hope I'm not being offensive here. I pray this inquiry won't reflect on what I consider to be a new friendship between you and me. The OTO is very attractive to me, and I would simply like to dispel any ill feelings before seeking membership. Thank you. Sincerely, name withheld. Dear name withheld, please don't feel at all self-conscious. This is a good question and one that is asked many times. I worried in the days and hours before my initiation into the OTO that I was going to be raped and eaten by saggy-titted old Crowley cultists. I was pleasantly disabused. First of all, I want you to know that part of the reason the OTO exists is to prepare her members to discover a great magical secret. Crowley was so impressed with the theory and technique of this secret that once he grasped its power and potential around 1910, he dedicated the rest of his life to practicing and developing it. The secret is a sex magic technique, and understanding and mastering it is an important part of the order's work in the highest degrees. However, and this is a big however, one that disappoints a lot of people who were hoping for free love in a sex cult. However, there is nothing in the OTO system of official degree initiations or practices which would oblige or even suggest the opportunity for the candidate or member to engage in an overtly sexual act, or for that matter, any act that would be construed by the candidate or member to be against his or her will. Even though the OTO is the custodian of a magical secret that at one level is of a sexual nature, any application or practice of that technique on the part of its members must take place on a purely private and personal basis and completely outside the official knowledge or scrutiny of the order, its officers, or members. In other words, the sex life of an OTO member is and remains entirely a personal matter. Try to keep in mind that the OTO is first and foremost a thelemic order. The prime directive is, there is no law beyond do what thou wilt. It would violate the prime directive if the order were to suggest a person do anything against his or her will. Very few living people can say this, but I'm proud to say that I've taken and given every OTO degree from beginning to end, and not even one of them asked me to ignore the prime directive or in any way threaten to put a dent in my 43-year and now 52-year monogamist's heterosexual lifestyle. Not that one has to be a monogamist or heterosexual, but I think you get the picture. I hope this has been helpful. Baba Lon. The next question, monogamy and sexual ethics in the OTO. Dear Baba Lon, I have a question for you about sexual ethics based in the order. I saw that you and Soror DuQuette were a couple and in the order together. My question is about this. When I joined a body a few years ago, I fell in love with a man. We were happy together until the rest of the people in the group tried using sexual predatory actions and behavior to cause problems in our private relationship. I was just wondering, what do you do to stop people like this from coming between you two as a couple? Thank you. Name withheld. Dear name withheld, let me begin by reminding you that the prime directive of Thelema is there is no law beyond do what thou wilt. If it is your will to be monogamous and it's your partner's will to be monogamous, then that's that. If your lodge members are too ignorant or intolerant to accept that fact and have a civilized relationship with monogamous couples, then in my opinion, they do not have a clue as to what Thelema is all about. And you should tell them to off and go find a nice sex cult somewhere. On the other hand, if either or both of you are so insecure in your relationship that you don't know for sure whether or not it is your will to be monogamous. It's not your lodge brethren who threaten your relationship. Indeed, every man and woman on the planet becomes for you a potential sexual predator. Call me unmagical and unpatriotic if you want. But I believe it is more important to be happy with your domestic life than it is to lead or be part of an OTO body or any organization. We have lots of OTO friends with whom, under different circumstances, I'm sure we could happily enjoy more intimate relations. But over the years, we've learned that for us, in our particular life circumstances, the negatives of such relationships would simply outweigh the positives of the stable home life we feel is necessary for us to pursue undistracted our great work. We're probably in the minority here, but so what? Sex, not promiscuity, is a big part of magic. Promiscuity can be fine, wonderful in fact, under certain circumstances. It's even fun to have promiscuous friends if they understand and respect where you're coming from. But please don't confuse promiscuity with sex magic. And certainly don't confuse it with Thelema. My best, Babylon. And finally, on marriage. And I have a little intro to it here. And while we're speaking of marriage and monogamy and all that, Babylon has for a number of years been legally empowered to marry couples. This is something he really enjoys doing, especially for friends. Once upon a time, a young man and young woman came to the home of Babylon in St. Constance and said something like this: Babylon, we are in love and have come to ask you to marry us. But in our joy, we have fears. All around us, we see sadness and strife of unhappy couples. Most marriages today end in bitter divorce. The newspapers are filled with terrible tales of jealous lovers who beat and kill one another. We read that more pregnant women are murdered by the fathers of their children than die by any other cause. These atrocities committed in the name of love make us reticent to take the marriage vows. Babylon, you and St. Constance have been married for many earth years. We observe you to be happy. You make each other laugh, you touch and hug and speak with joy about your son. What is the secret of your love? What wisdom can you share with us at the beginning of our journey together? What must we do to be happy as Babylon and St. Constance? Babylon adjusted his turban and looked to St. Constance as if silently asking permission to speak. Eventually he cleared his throat and said, "My friends, I must tell you that you will never make one another happy." He then reached for his guitar, and as everyone feared, he began to sing. And I won't sing it. This is, love is bigger than happiness. So you're in love and want to wed, but see, most marriages end up dead. To Babylon you've voiced your fears. Yes, I've been married 43 years. 52. Saint Constance is the perfect wife, brings love and beauty to my life. As husbands go, I'm not so bad, and we've both done well as mom and dad. Our marriage endures for years and years through ups and downs and fits and tears, because we've learned and now confess. Love is bigger than happiness. Vital to life as happiness is, hers must be hers, and his must be his. The old cliche is worn and sappy, but only you can make you happy. So I say to would-be mated, communication is overrated. Probe not too deep each other's head. Contempt is born when mystery's dead. Monogamy is not for everyone. It has its pros, it has its cons. But once you've pledged to that relation, try to be good at it for the duration. Be not too quick to throw in the towel. Don't stray, don't cruise, don't sneak, don't prowl. Chances of good, if you're miserable here, in no time at all, you'll be miserable there. So remember my words through the pain and stress. Love is bigger than happiness. I bless you now and wish you luck. I'll marry you now for $100. A few years back, I had the honor of officiating at a wedding ceremony for our son Jean-Paul and his lovely bride Miwa. I happily imparted to them the secret that I believe is the key to a long and relatively happy marriage. At least what has worked for Constance and me. And I'll close with the secret of marriage. When two strong souls and two strong wills and two strong minds unite, there will come rounds when standing your grounds will turn into a fight. So here and now, before reciting your vows and while you're high as a kite, agree that one of you will know everything and the other will always be right. This compromise is very wise. You'll need it day and night. It's an understanding that's not demanding. It's unbreakable, try as you might. So leave behind the undefined, step boldly into the light, where a world where one of you knows everything and the other is always right. So that's where we'll leave it today. Oh, there's also a drawing embedded in this chapter. And before I shock you with showing you this drawing, this was a Christmas card that I made for Constance, I don't know how many years ago. Obviously, I was a little bit fatter than I am now. And you might not see it at first, but I wanted to draw me as an angel on top of the Christmas tree. And it says, and now the best gift of all, you deserve it. Okay, can you see that? Let's see that. There it is. Now for the best gift of it all. You deserve it. And then it says, angels we have heard on high. I like the garter belts and the high heels. Maybe that's another reason we've stayed married for 52 years. Anyway, that's it for today. Tomorrow we'll pick up again. I hope you continue to enjoy your weekend. Don't do anything wild and crazy. Continue to be cautiously cautious. Until tomorrow, continue to be good to yourself and be good to each other. Do what thou wilt should be the whole of the law. Love is the law. Love under will. Bye-bye.